Hello, hello, hello. We are going to do some sprints tonight because I have work to do and this is going to motivate me. So, hi, if you're joining us on a Monday night, it's good to have you here. I don't know how long we'll run in general, but I think we'll go for a little while. I have some audiobook listening to do to get the proving done for that. And I need to work on some writing. So I think it won't be much of a reading sprint for me as much as a productivity sprint, but it can be whatever you would like to work on. So I hope everyone is doing well. I see that there are a couple of people here. So if you're here and you want to say hi in the chat, please do so. Let me know if you can hear me too. I never know these microphones and things like that if people can actually hear me properly. Hey, Matt, how's it going? Anyone ever redo their bookshelves and then stare at them and think, I don't know if I like this? I get like really particular about it. And I just recently was gifted some beautiful special editions by Evie, who is just the salt of the earth human being. And I want to display them. And one of them is right there being displayed. But I don't like necessarily how the things look around it. So I have to figure out if that's something I'm going to work on. Sounds great. Perfect. Hello, Britton. How are you? Kind of tangent, but yeah, it's just bookshelf stuff, right? She really is the fairy godmother of BookTube. She really just is the gem of gems. So I went to New York this past weekend. My mother received a book award, which was nice. My mother writes children's books, and that was really fun. It was her first time going to New York, and we got to do a couple of things and see some stuff. Hello, Lily. I'm reading Love Lettering by Kate Claiborne. I haven't read that one. Tell me what it's about. Hello, Evie. If you want to join me, I sent you a link. But yes, we had a really nice time. I love New York. I love how busy New York is. I don't know. Like, I live in the middle of nowhere and it's rural, and I really like being in a city. I love how vibrant it is, how you can walk to everything. Like, being able to walk to things is just the absolute best. I love it so, so much. And we had good food. We saw a good show. I don't know when we'll be headed back to New York, but I hope that we will at some point in the near future. We went last year. We try to go, I think, like about once a year. We saw Moulin Rouge last year for my birthday, which was incredible. Absolutely loved it. And then this year we saw Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which I detest the play itself, like the screenplay, because it's full of plot holes. But in terms of just visuals and effects, it's a really fantastic show. So that was recommended to me by Bookborn and highly recommend it. Never been to New York. I need a guide. There's so much to do and so much to see. So it really depends on what you would be wanting to see. If you want to have more of an architectural tour, you could do that. If you want more of a Broadway tour, you could do that too. The park is an amazing experience. I love being in Central Park. Hey, Rodman, good to see you. Yeah, I also live in a very small town. Hey, LJ, guys. LJ is a fellow author, indie author. You should check out her stuff. And yeah, I absolutely love New York. It's hard to go wrong with New York City. I feel like there's something for everybody there. But yeah, what is everyone gonna work on? Let me know what you guys are planning on working on. Also, I don't know where other people live, obviously, but it has been in the 70s and 80s where I live. And then this week it is dropping down to 57 as a high on Wednesday, and my body is not used to it. So this is Love Lettering by Kate Claiborne. A lady with a hand lettering skill wrote some wedding invitations for a couple. A year later, the groom and her start to connect. Seems the marriage didn't go as planned. A secret word of warning was woven into the invitations. Interesting. Huh. Continuing the City and the State. Oh, Clash of Kings. Clash of Kings is my favorite. Yeah, I love Clash of Kings. It's a good one. Editing my book, Where Lost Souls Fall. I am with you. Editing book 2. It just feels like there is always work to be done. There's just always work to be done. That's a good question, Britton. I'll get back to you on that. Wegmans would probably be the number one thing for me. Wegmans grocery store. I absolutely love Wegmans. I'll be trying to make my way through through Bearhead by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I don't know why I thought you had finished that, Evie, but I guess that is my mistake. I have put out the Mercedes Lackey book here on my shelf somewhere. Now, of course, I can't find it. Oh, yes. I would like to start that one relatively soon. So part of our trip to New York, which was really fun, was we got to go to the flagship Barnes and Noble. And I was talking to my mom and husband about this. It's funny in the sense that growing up, Barnes and Noble was kind of like the enemy because they were putting all these indie bookstores out of business, right? And now we revere a lot of Barnes and Noble because they're the main competition to Amazon. So we went to the flagship Barnes and Nobles, which is an incredible store. I absolutely was frothing while I was there, and I got a few books while I was there. I picked up a different version of Terry Pratchett, which is way better than the ones that they've been selling for the last couple of years. If you're familiar with the Terry Pratchett books, they were these narrow, the Discworld books specifically, these narrow books that are now full size as they should be. I also picked up The Raven Scholar, which I started last night, and the author's name is escaping me. The Raven Scholar. Antonia Hodgson, I believe, is who wrote it. And I picked up a different version of Assassin's Apprentice because the one that I have, I got the mass market paperback a couple years ago for Josh to read. And I don't like mass market paperbacks. I don't like how they feel in my hands. So I got the full size, pretty beige one. So, yeah, I'm excited to read some of this stuff. I will have to switch to reading The Forgotten Dawn soon because I'm in the UK and it's past midnight here. Yeah, you must be tired. Just finished Titus Grown and I'm going to start on Growing Gods. You are in the right chat. Hello, long time no see. Nice to see you as well. Next week, I am hoping to be back for Love Bomb. It's the first one that I will have done in a while. I'm going to be joined by Chance Dillon, hopefully next Monday. He is a fellow author. He has a book coming out this year. I can't remember the exact date that Chance's book is coming out. It's an epic fantasy, I believe. But he and I have never chatted before, so that's going to be fun. Hi, Marianne. Nice to see you. And then the following week, I believe I will be having another Love Bomb with Tori from Tori Talk. So that should be good. Just to kind of get back in the swing of things. Also, Tori's got a book coming out too. So that's always fun. We're also going to be part of an author roundtable in a couple weeks on Talking Stories channel with some really wonderful authors that all have books coming out this year. And all of our books are in different genres. So that's going to be really fun. So be sure to check that out. That's going to be on June 30th, I believe. It seems like we've got some people reading some similar stuff in here, which is always exciting. It's always nice too when people get to hang out in the chat. So reading Titus Grown myself, really digging it. I don't know what this book is about. So someone please tell me. Honestly, I feel like I've been on my own little bubble island of not knowing what's going on with books lately and what people are reading. I've watched very little to no BookTube. Really, the only channel I've been actively watching, I feel like, is Books with Brittany. And I really love the way she does stuff just because she reads wide, which I love. And she gives honest opinions and she is a chronic DNFer and then comes back to books and she loves them later, which I think is just really, really refreshing because I'm that way. I can pick up a book and be like, we're not vibing right now, and I'll come back to this eventually. And some of my all-time favorite books have been like that. Like Circe by Madeline Miller was like that for me. I absolutely adore that book. But the first time I picked it up, it was a DNF because I was just not in the right headspace for that book at the time. Yeah, Brittany has really good variety, and I really, really love that about her channel. So if you guys haven't checked out books with Brittany, highly, highly recommend. She's also just like the nicest person, it seems like. So definitely recommend giving her a follow. Have you guys been following a particular booktube channel lately? Has anything been catching your eye in terms of content, all that stuff? I know we talked about this a little bit last time in regards to what people were looking forward to in regards to upcoming books, releases, all that fun stuff. So let me know if there's a particular release that you are excited for or an upcoming book. I got my copy of The Devils finally. It is right there. Haven't started it yet because I'm debating doing it on audio. I'm also re-listening to The Blade itself, and it is reaffirming just how much I adore Joe Abercrombie. He is just my absolute favorite author. So on our drive back from New York, which is a several-hour drive for us, we were talking about authors and writing and all that fun stuff. And I was saying that Joe Abercrombie, I think just by the sheer number of books that I've read by him and how I would rate his books, has to be my favorite author, because I feel like I just love his style of writing so much. The humor is just chef's kiss for me. I love it, love it so, so much. Titus Grown was like that for me. Tried 6 different times over the course of 10 months or sometimes a charm. Hey, if it worked, it worked. I commend you for trying it that many times. Typically, I would not try it that many times. Usually I cap out at about 3, but I love that. I love that so much. A Game of Monsters by Ben Alderson releases in 8 days. I've been waiting 3 years for it to publish, and I've got an arc to read. Oh, that's exciting. I have never had an arc. So I was offered a few different arcs when I started my YouTube channel. And it's interesting because when people start their YouTube channel, and I think for the first probably like 500 subscribers you don't really get many outside emails. And then you cross that 500 subscriber mark. And I just started getting a ton of emails being like, hey, would you review this? Would you review this? Would you review this? And you could tell when someone had actually watched your content versus when someone just was mass emailing people. Because I would get genres of books that I was like, this is not up my alley. This is not my channel at all. And because I'm such a mood reader, I don't do arc reading unless it's a book that I am like, if I were to request one. I had initially requested an arc for Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson, which I ended up DNFing. So I didn't get the arc, which I guess in the long run was a good thing. But yeah, I don't really sign up for arcs all that much. I commend people who do and are able to get them done, but I'm too much of a mood reader to really jive with it, I feel like. So yeah, that's kind of my little spiel and ramble here. I feel like we could probably get started on our first sprint here for a little bit. I need the banner. There's the banners of stuff. So let's create a new banner. So sprinting until we'll go for 2 more minutes and then we can say 8. So that'll give it 30 minutes basically. But yeah, I'm excited to get some more work done. It's honestly like some days you wake up and you think, I'm going to be really creative today and I'm going to get work done. And then you sit down and then just nothing comes. And other days you really have the itch and the drive and you're just too busy to actually get work done. Today has been kind of a mix of those days. And like we're 17 days out from release day of this bad boy right here. Hello. And time is crunching. It's getting really close. So getting all the final things done for the audiobook. I'm trying to get stuff working on book 2 because I want my book 2 is going to my cover artist reads the manuscript and helps come up with a concept from the manuscript. So when my cover is very much pulled from my book, which I love that she does that. We already have a discussion going for what book 2 is going to look like, because I have more of a clear-cut idea in my head and what each book in the series cover is going to look like. And I'm being joined now. Hello. And it's really, I need to get these things done by July so she can get the book. So that's book 2 planning a little bit. But how are you?
I'm good. Sorry, my computer just decided it wanted to try and update something. So hopefully it doesn't close out.
You're fine.
It's fine. But no, I'm good. My belly is full. Had leftover pizza from Uno's. So
sounds good to me. How far into this book are you that I thought you had finished?
Still not far enough. I haven't even made it to the halfway mark. I went on out of left field and I just binged the Lila Sage books. So
I am so I was thinking of you a couple of days ago because I just reread an Elsie Silver book and I was like, I think Evie will like this one.
Was it not off to the races? Because I tried that.
Yeah, no, it was not. And that's the thing. So of that original series, there's 4 books in that. I can't remember the name of that series. The first Gold Rush series. I loved one of those books. I liked one and I disliked 2. The 2 that I disliked were the first and the last. So
I just immediately bounced off the Vaughn character, and I'm like, I'm not into this right now. So.
Totally fair. I would be interested if you tried the Chestnut Spring series or the Rose Hill series. The one I reread is the first book in the Rose Hill series, and I love it because the banter in it is excellent, and it's got really, really great humor. So because I know you like a good bantery person, I was like, yep, that's what it is. Listen, she loved Lila Sage, so there's hope. There's hope. But it's one of those things too that with all, I say all authors, but many authors, those were Elsie Silver's first books, and I really do feel like she's just getting better and better. So that's been really fun to go through, because it's just like, oh, this is just an improvement on something I already really enjoy. So that's great. So yeah, I love that. Hello, Shad. All right. We ready to sprint until 8 o'clock, I guess? A few minutes after 8?
Sure.
Cool. Let's do it. All right, guys. See you at 8. Hello, hello. Is my microphone working?
Yep.
How'd you do?
I read 10 pages, which is pretty good, considering how this has been going for the past 2 weeks.
Is it a dense book?
It's not dense. It's just that there's a perspective that I did not expect to affect me so much. Not necessarily both the perspective and also like the things that happened to the character. Very triggering for me.
That's always fun.
But it's intentional, and so like I trust that Adrian Tchaikovsky knows what he's doing, because he's already established that trust with me with other books. So
that's fair. But you did recently reread Happy Place, which is our happy place.
I did.
Was it everything you remembered it to be and more?
Yes. Ugh.
Is that your second or third reread of Happy Place?
Just my first reread.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the best.
It's the best. I actually ordered the UK editions. Well, at least according to the thing, it's the UK editions of Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation, or You and Me on Vacation. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna reread them as the UK editions, because
let me know, because I will read them with you, because I will always reread Emily Henry.
Yeah, because genuinely, if I and I know I told you this, but if I had read the UK edition of Beach Read,
because the ending's different,
I would have been on the hype train much sooner.
And there's that one big plot. I mean, it's not like a big plot point, but there's that one plot point that's not in You and Me on Vacation and People We Meet on Vacation.
And that really, really bothered me. Like that plot point. So
see, that it didn't bother me, but I know that's your bottom ranking M. Hen book. So that's fine. But I love all of them so much. I mean, Book Lovers for me is still the lowest, just because of Libby. Like, I'm never going to get over Libby, I feel like. Hey, Sam. But I don't know. It'll be interesting, because I'm curious how I'm going to feel about Great Big Beautiful Life on a reread. Because I liked it a lot when we read it. And I think I'll probably like it more on a reread, because I feel like I have liked all, like, Happy Place out the gate. I knew I was like 5 stars. It was a star for every time it made me cry. That's basically what it was. And when I got to the end, I was like, nothing is gonna top this. Like, how could it? It's just perfect. And with the rereads I've done of Happy Place, it just affirms my love for it each time I read it. And then the other ones, I feel like my love has just grown for them, whereas Happy Place was already just like so high that I'm like, there's not much more room up here.
Yeah. For me, I think from a craft perspective, Great Big Beautiful Life is like a summation of, or an example of, Emily Henry's growth as a writer. Like, it's probably the most well-crafted of all her novels, but just this Happy Place is the same thing as Persuasion for me. It's the first, with the caveat of Beach Read, we're not going to include that. It's the first Emily Henry I read, and it was it hit me personally. It emotionally impacted me, so it gets the leg up because of that emotional connection to it.
Yeah, I feel like I'd have to agree with that, even though it's so funny, because I feel she's so consistent with structure, because like I feel that structure was similar with People We Meet on Vacation with the flashbacks. So I was like, okay, like she's done this before. It's a different method of the story that she was telling in Great Big Beautiful Life. And also with Happy Place, because we have the timeline jumping and stuff. But she's just the best.
I know I keep saying, but I still need to do my, if you like Jane Austen, here's the equivalent Emily Henry, and vice versa. So
What do you think book lovers would be?
I actually wrote it down.
Nice.
Spoiler alert, I guess I could just do the video, do the video here and now.
I guess.
Hold on. Where is it? Dad, come in. Oh, it's in a different window. Dad, come in. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I think it's on this. It's in a spreadsheet somewhere. I just have to find the spreadsheet.
You are good.
Everyone entertain yourselves. Anyways, while I'm looking for this, what did you work on? I know you said you were doing audiobook. Can you just do that, or?
Yeah. My book is 52 chapters. I am up to chapter 33, I think.
Oh,
of this thing. So I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm in the middle of this. So this is chapter 33. My engineer has up through chapter 42 ready for me to listen to. Because we were away the past few days, I got no listening done. So I'm trying to play catch up. I think I did like 12 chapters today.
So do you have to like listen to them and like basically give them a thumbs up, like, yep, we're good?
Yeah, and because it's spliced in that I have a male narrator doing all the male voices and female narrator doing all the female voices, I have to make sure that no lines have been missed and that everything is blended together correctly and that everything is said correctly, basically. And make sure that there's consistency between the narrators, like if they're saying a name or a place or any noun, really. So it's me being glued to the manuscript, like it's immersion reading the whole thing to make sure that it's fine. Which, if it was just listening to the book, I'd be so fine with. But by the end of the day, I'm so cross-eyed by it. I'm just like, I do not want to look at this book anymore.
I don't want to read another word on a page
that I've written. Like, that's the thing. I'm like, if it's someone else's writing, fine. If it's my writing, I'm really over it. And it's funny because someone, I can't remember who it was, had this quote, and it's like, you better like the book that you write because you're going to read it 5,000 times. And I was like, that's so accurate. And I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, I'm ready for this book to be like on my back burner. And I really want to be focusing on other books, which is good, but simultaneously, like, this is part of the process that needs the
done. Light is at the end of the tunnel.
It is.
Keep thinking like that.
It is. It's 17 days, so we're almost there. It's coming up. But yeah, did you find it?
I did. Okay,
all right,
so lay it on me. Anyone that's watching this, act surprised if I ever do this video. So Persuasion, happy place. That no one should be surprised about that. Funny story would be Emma.
Okay. Why?
So both of the leads are I wouldn't say gruff, but like there's just this interesting dynamic where Daphne and Miles are exes of their exes.
Yeah.
And Emma and Mr. Knightley are quasi like brother and sister, but not. And I just think Emma's like the most witty of them all, and I think Funny Story is. I just felt like
I love Funny Story. Honestly, there's the Emily Henry Reddit is a pretty great place. If Reddit can be a really dark and grim place, but the Emily Henry Reddit is pretty wonderful. And someone a few weeks ago was basically like, if you were one of the characters, who would you be? And someone responded with, I am Daphne. Her throwing the Jordan almonds is 100% me. And I was like, oh my God, of all the things to pick for Daphne, I love that that's what you chose. That's amazing. Is this making sense to you?
Clueless is a modern retelling of Emma.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
I didn't know that, which is funny because like I know 10 Things I Hate About You is a retelling of Taming of the Shrew, which makes perfect sense. But yeah, I didn't know that about Emma. Now that you've said it, it does make sense to me.
As F.
Yeah, I love those.
You're a virgin who can't drive.
Possibly my favorite Brittany Murphy role, but
it goes back to Happy Place. They have their like in joke of virgin who can drive, virgin who can't drive. Or what was the other? I can't remember. Who can drive.
That's funny.
But yeah, so People We Meet on Vacation is Sense and Sensibility.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit of a stretch there.
Which is your least favorite Austen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so, that's not the only reason why I put it there.
No, but it's interesting that those kind of coalesce.
Correlate. Yeah, it's, I think for me, oh my God, I can't even remember the names of the two main characters in People We Meet on Vacation.
Poppy and Alex.
There you go. Thank you. So Poppy and Alex are, I mean, they're friends to lovers, and that's kind of how, spoiler alert for Sense and Sensibility, everyone. It's kind of how Marianne and Colonel Brandon are. And Eleanor and what's his face?
I really need to give Austen another try.
Northanger Abbey.
Which is the equivalent of which Emily Henry book?
I was gonna get well, by process of elimination. We're gonna get there. Beach read, Pride and Prejudice, because they butt heads a little bit.
I get that vibe. I feel like Gus has some Mr. Darcy vibes. I'm good with it.
Yep. Mansfield Park would be Great Big Beautiful Life, because
you're making me really nervous that Northanger Abbey is book lovers. Like, really nervous.
No, it is. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I can do it then. Don't know if I can do it. Well, I mean, as long as it doesn't have a Libby, that's fine.
Oh, no, no. So the reason that I put Northanger Abbey against or with book lovers is both of them are about books. Like, Northanger Abbey is about a reader, 17-year-old Catherine Morland, who's obsessed with Gothic novels, and it's like an homage, but also satire of Gothic novels. And Book Lovers is about two writers or two people in the book industry, and she's playing with the tropes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we're good on spoilers. This is Persuasion. Definitely Persuasion. Did you end up watching that PBS 4-part special on Miss Austen?
I have not, because Aaron and I have been watching Andor and then Rogue One.
We're gonna start it this week. We're gonna start it. I was waiting until all of season 2 was out.
It's so good.
We love, so Rogue One is one of our all-time favorite Star Wars movies. Like, it's Empire and Rogue One for us. We love them. And we loved season 1 of Andor. So I've been pretty excited for season 2. But again, I was like, I'm not going to be able, like, I don't want to have to wait week to week to week. So I'm just going to wait until it's all, I have managed to avoid all spoilers. I have not seen a singular spoiler. Night, LJ. Thanks for popping in. So
you do know about the time jumps, though, right? Between each arc. Okay, so the reason that they did like each week, they did 3 episodes each week, is because there's a time jump between each like set or whatever. So it's 12 episodes with 3 episodes over the course of 4 years.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I was thinking at some point there was going to have to be some kind of time jump, because I was like, there's quite a bit of time that we need to cover here in this. So yeah, I'm excited to start digging into that. But I did watch the Austen miniseries, and I thought it was good. I thought it could have been a bit more deep, but it's an interesting story for people that aren't familiar with it. Jane Austen's sister, Cassie Austen, I believe her name was, essentially destroyed hundreds of letters that Jane had written to not only her, but to multiple people. And the motivations behind it are, we don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, there's speculation that she wanted to, like, Jane Austen requested it, and also it's to preserve her sister's legacy and not have... If people are worried about, like, the whole social media stuff of dragging things from, like, years ago, like a tweet from 10 years ago, back to the light, basically that's what Cassandra Austen was, like, worried about. She didn't want
avoiding, which, I mean, I think the way they handled it in the show is done well, so I think you'll like it. But
Mitch.
Leah Michelle.
Listen,
mean, hey,
if you're doing audiobooks, you don't have to worry about that.
That's true. That is true. I love a good audiobook. I've been re-listening to The Blade itself, and it's been delightful. Eventually I will start my Catherine Arden book, but I have not done it yet. I don't know if you were listening at that point, but I read like 6 pages last night of The Raven Scholar. That's my new physical read, because I have done very little physical reading in the last while, and I want to get back into it again. So I need to ease into it.
Maybe reread something that you'll like.
Maybe, honestly, I was really intrigued by this premise, so I'm hoping that this will do it. And if not, I'll probably just pivot into something else and then come back to it eventually. But thought it sounded good, and a few people I know have really loved it. Like Esme loved it. Hey Esme, if you're watching this, love you. And she was the one I reached out to and asked specifically. I was like, do you think I would like this? And she was like, yes, I think you would. So I hope so.
I signed up for the Illuma Crate subscription solely to get a chance to pre-order the Robin Hood Farseer trilogy editions, which I got. Thank you.
Did you? I haven't seen what they look like, I don't think.
The mock-ups look amazing. But the first book that I got as part of the subscription was The Raven Scholar, which actually...
Oh, was it? Nice.
Yeah. It's really pretty, and I'm like, dadgummit, I better like this book. Because 1, it's pretty, and 2, it's purple, and I love
it.
Purple.
It is very purple. I'm not sure. I think that's the cover that Tom Roberts illustrated, who I really, really like. I can see it fine. It's always flipped on your camera angle. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that looks normal for me, even if it's not for you. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's really, really nice. And also the Farseer ones look absolutely gorgeous. Holy.
Right?
Yeah. Those are beautiful. Oh, I love Assassin's Apprentice. That's like...
I'm hoping that like, if they're doing Farseer, that means they're gonna do
all of them.
All of them.
Never know. It might.
Especially if they're pre-orders and not subscriptions, like...
Which is the best. Oh, it's the best. I get so irritated every time Broken Binding has a book that I want, which is always, and I never get them. They have some beautiful books, and I'm always just like, I would like these books, Broken Binding. Please let me sign up for your subscription. And it just never, ever comes to pass.
I have the Broken Binding subscription. I was able to offload the Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn.
Oh, they were so beautiful.
They are beautiful, but I'm like, I'm never gonna read these books.
Yeah.
So we're good. And then I sold like, I knew Angela loves the Rook and Rose trilogy, and I'm like, as soon as they announced it, I texted her and I was like, you want them? She's like, oh, thank God. I was gonna have to ask around.
That's
people.
Funny. Did you get the Devils?
I did.
Do you want it?
So, okay, this is the type of person I am. Please don't judge me. I get multiple copies of special editions. My intention is always to resell at a jacked up price, because I internally, like, that's my desire is, hey, supply and demand. But then, so yes, I will send you a copy. I will
buy it from you, Evie. No, I will buy it from you. I will buy the Devils from you. That is fine. So yeah, no, that works for me. Cool. Yeah, I thought their Tad Williams books were arguably some of the prettiest books I'd ever seen. I was envious of the Dragonbone chair specifically. I love that cover. It's gorgeous.
So Broken Binding allows you to like skip one series per calendar year. So I skipped the Magician's trilogy or whatever, Raymond D. Feist, because I'm like, I have no interest and I don't know anyone that I'd be able to, pawn these off to.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping the next, I think the last trilogy or last two trilogies, I hope that I'm not gonna regret not skip like.
Yeah. How far in advance do they tell you?
That's a great question. Probably. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I think they did the Magician's announcement like either a month or the same month or a month after the first book of the previous trilogy was sent out. Okay. I can't remember, but
yeah, I never know with any of that stuff. I'm not subscribed to any book box. I've signed up for a few and like I've been told the wait time and I've never been selected. So I don't know if I just have terrible luck, but I signed up for Broken Binding well over 2 years ago.
You should have gotten it by now because I did a wait list.
Yep. Signed up over 2 years ago on multiple accounts to try to get my best shot at doing it. And I signed up for, what's the other one? I'm so bad with these. It's a romantasy one, but they have
Owl Crate.
It's not Owl. It's no. Oh my gosh, it's gonna bother me. Romantasy book subscription. Oh, Fairy Loot. I really like a lot of the Fairy Loot editions for books, so I subscribed to them, and I also signed up for their epic fantasy line that they're starting, and I have heard nothing. So yeah, I don't get selected for things. It's okay. It is okay.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can email Broken Binding or something and see if
I don't know, and be like, hey guys, I've been waiting over 2 years. Please pick me. Yes, secondhand site lurker. I totally get that, Marianne. Hello. Yeah, it's hard to commit to the book subscriptions, I feel like. And I know people that do multiples. And I'm like, I just don't, being a mood reader, I can't do it. I don't know.
Since I hopefully lucked out with the Raven Scholar, I'm going to see what their next book is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least maybe like next 2 or 3 and see if, hey, do I actually want to continue now that my whole purpose has been fulfilled? I was able to pre-order.
Yeah. Those. Were they reasonably priced, the Hob ones, or were they outrageous?
For 3 books, it actually wasn't that bad. It was £90. So
for 3?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not that bad.
But the shipping is where they get you. It's like
that's where they get you.
£25. So
yeah, I mean, I ended up getting Josh the Broken Binding and Loch Lamora ones secondhand, and that was so expensive getting it secondhand. But they're his favorite books, so I was like, I'll splurge on it, and that's your Christmas gift. But yeah, I mean, people can make a killing off of reselling these books, and a lot of the time they do. Which I get, but I would like to just get the original offer. Yeah, I couldn't commit to buying a special edition of a book I haven't read. Yeah, that's fair too. That's fair. We've bought a few. Like this one here is Guy Gabriel Kay's Finnevar Tapestry, but we've already read Guy Gabriel Kay, but we haven't read those books. So it's kind of gambling on an author that you already know and like, but I don't know. Have you? Yeah, I guess you've like, because of the subscription box, you're kind of getting books that you by authors you don't know. But before that, had you purchased a special edition by an author that you hadn't read before or a book you hadn't read before?
So, well, The Devils is one of them. But that was with the subscription or whatever. That's actually, I don't think I have. Anita could probably tell me I'm wrong, call me out and give me an example where
Anita will have a comment on it. I'm trying.
Actually, so I technically did get the sub-press Funavar tapestry, and I've only read one Guy Gavriel Kay.
Which one did you read? Tigana?
No, I read oh shoot, what's it called? Brightness Long Ago.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember when you read that.
Yeah.
I have not read that one yet.
I tried reading Sailing to Sarantium, and I just hit a wall with it. So I need to get back to that and reread it.
I think you will really like A Song for Arbonne. That would be my vote.
Jake Bishop has told me Under Heaven. Because of the ratio of horses.
I could also see Under Heaven for you, but I do think A Song for Arbonne is really lyrical, and it's beautiful in that kind of what era of history would I like to say that it is? It's not medieval, but it's kind of like Renaissance-y vibes. It's just, it feels very romantic, a lot of it. And it has nice magic and stuff. Like, it's kind of got that Austen, like, pining and like love aspect. It's overarching because it's musical and lyrical and things like that. So I could see you liking A Song for Arbonne. But my personal favorite still is Lion's Flower Song because it's incredible. I need to reread that at some point. It's hard when you want to read new books and want to reread old books. It just gets to be tedious.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kev, just add it to the list. We're apparently planning to buddy read everything.
That's perfect.
Kev, so
yeah. Song for Arbonne is one of the easiest 5 stars I've ever given. There you go. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful book. I mean, he's one of the few authors where I go in and I'm like, okay, I know the prose are going to be excellent off the bat. Like, it's just one of those things that it's an expectation. I feel like I'm that way with Susanna Clarke now too, where I just know that there's an expectation. I'm like, it's gotta be that. Yeah, the prologue alone gives off that vibe for A Song for Arbonne. So if you read the prologue, let me know. But yeah, what are you thinking? Are you going to keep reading the same book as we venture into our next sprint?
Yes, because if I stop reading this book,
you're never going to start again.
I'm never going to finish it.
I hear
never.
You. I hear you.
And I've hit a spot where I'm like, oh, okay. Things are really amping up right now.
Yeah.
So there was an entire monologue about basically the workforce and how people become administrators and comparing them to what do they describe it as, a game versus a metagame. It's of like, hey, if the whole purpose is, for a caveman to go out and kill a mammoth to show that he's powerful and can provide, that's your game. Your metagame is, the caveman's neighbor realizing, hey, I can kill this guy and pretend like I killed the mammoth. And I'm like, he's like, that's administration. I'm like, oh my God, I'm having a I work in corporate and I'm having a crisis. Like, I don't know. My brain is just like, oh God, my job is pointless.
That's hilarious. That is so, so funny.
I mean, I already knew my job was pointless, let's be honest, but.
Between EVKs and Air Six Disdain, I'm starting to think she doesn't like Canadians.
I mean, you draw your own conclusions, Mitch.
I can confirm that Evie does like at least a few of us. I think you dig Strange and Neural. I think so too. I need to read it at some point. It's a long book, and I haven't had it in me lately to do like a really, really long book. I don't know.
Split it out by just say, okay, I'll read part 1 and that's it. And then
I didn't realize it was broken up into parts, so I do like that.
3 parts. So
maybe
I intended to read like it over 3 months, 1 part each month. And then I read part 1 in 1 month. Second month I read part 2. And then the end of part 2, I was like,
oh, I need to keep going.
I can't stop reading. So
I love that though. That's the best.
So I think it was like 2 months, a little over 2 months.
Okay, not the worst.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to 9.
Cool.
I will see you in a bit. Hello. How did we do?
Read 12 pages.
Nice.
Oh, man. It's amazing what having forced dedicated reading time will make you actually.
I know, right? Thanks. Do you want to come up and say hi? Come here, Betsy. Oh my goodness. Oh.
It's now just a cat stream.
Fine with it. I'm totally fine with it.
No,
I don't know what's happening. Hey. Oh, I am tired of writing and reading and listening. I am tired. But
progress. You're getting progress.
It is progress. This time I didn't listen to book 1. I was working on book 2.
Oh, nice.
Yes, already.
I guess what is, I'm sure you've talked about this before, but I haven't heard it. So do you outline? Do you just?
I didn't outline book 1. I really discovery wrote book 1. I had 3 scenes that I knew had to be in the book. I had a greater overarching idea of one element to the book. It was more the God aspect of the book. And I was like, okay, this needs to happen for this to make sense. And then when book 2 came along, I was like, I have to outline this because this is proving to be really, really complicated. Hello. It's a series. It's book 1 of a series. There's going to be 4 full-length books and a novella that might become another full-length book. So it might be 5 books. I don't know yet.
So do you do like with book 1, did characters come first and then plot, or plot?
World came first.
Okay.
World came first. It was weird. Like 6 years ago, maybe now, I used this app called Insight Timer. It's a meditation app. And I was gearing up to do fertility treatments, and I was really, really stressed. So I would do these 5-minute timers in my car. And I picked this one randomly, and it ended up being this really beautiful tribal music. And I kept having this image of this young girl like dancing around this fire. And I was like, oh, it would be kind of cool to have like a people that were really connected to fire in a way that it's not just like, oh, we control fire, but like it's more shadows and darkness and what shadows can do with light and things like that. And I was like, that could be kind of interesting. And then I started thinking about it in the greater context of like, okay, would I want to do all of the elements? Like what would that be like? And I wrote a prologue. Like I went home, had the idea, and I was like, okay, I drew a map, which pretty much ended up being the map in the book. A few of the names of places changed and things like that, but the general concept of where things were located have stayed the same. And I decided it was going to be these four groups that were going to be based on elemental magic for the most part. And I was like, okay, but like, what's the motivator here? Like, what's the actual story? Because for a long time, I thought it was going to be epic fantasy. So I went home and I wrote a prologue, and I was like, the prologue is fine, but what's the plot? And I showed it to Josh, and he was like, it's good, but like, what's the issue here? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I know what the world will look like, but I don't have an actual issue for there to be
an inciting incident or whatever.
Yeah, like there's nothing. So for multiple years, I just kept going back and rewriting the prologue. And I was like, maybe this will be it. Maybe this will be it. Maybe this will be it. And then I started doing a writer's group with people from YouTube. And I was like, okay, well, this is going to force me to write. Like, I'm going to have to write it. So I wrote a different book. I didn't write this book because I was like, I still don't know what to do with this book. And I finally started talking to people about it in my writer's group. And I was like, I have this idea, but I don't really know what the incident is, or like what drives them, and what the problem is in this world and how it's solvable. And when I started reading Romantasy, I was like, oh, this is the genre. It does, like, it's a blending of romantasy and epic fantasy. I was like, it's elements of both. So I was like, I can do it this way. And I knew the 3 scenes that I wanted. I sat down and I wrote book 1 in a month, and then edited it and rewrote it 17 times over the course of a year. It's a series. Let me go through these. I do know how it's going to end. Maybe one day a TV show. TBD. Don't know yet. Yes, Anita's asking all the important questions. No dragons met. No dragons met. Sorry, Anita. Hard pass then for you.
So this is the thing. I know I've very briefly told you, like, oh, I have ideas, but I never know how to go with them. So I guess, what is that process, or what was that process like for you, of you having these 3 scenes in your head and then like fleshing that out to make a novel?
I loved it because so between the 2, I way prefer discovery writing to pre-planning. I know, like, it can be really helpful, and I definitely found it helpful for book 2, and I'm going to have to do it again for book 3 and book 4. But I loved sitting down at my computer and being like, what are they going to do? And not knowing. Like, I found that was really liberating, and it was fun for me and the characters to discover it, like, side by side with each other. And it was fun because I knew for my FMC, I was like, she's not going to be a typical FMC for romantasy. Like, she's not a warrior. She's not a fighter. She's bookish, and she's quiet, and she's anxious. Like, those are her traits, but she's fiercely loyal and she's loving. And I was like, that's it. We start there and we venture out. And it was really fun because I knew, again, those 3 scenes, and I was like, I have a feeling I knew 1 was the end of the book. I knew 1 was the end of book 1, and I was like, okay. The other 2 were kind of just like, they'll happen at some point and it'll feel right when it feels right, type thing. And I remember when I sat down to write the second scene, I was like, oh, we've gotten here. Like, that's really cool. And I really enjoyed that. But I don't know. I really love discovery writing, but it's not for everybody.
I get so in my head about everything.
It's
so
hard.
I'm just like, I paralyze myself before I can even get, one coherent sentence out. So
I think the main thing is just to start writing. Like, it's the most basic advice, but it really is the best advice because Josh is so similar. He is a perfectionist with his writing and gets really hung up on rereading chapters and editing them. And I'm like, just keep going. Like, that's what a first draft is. It's meant to be shit. And you can go back in and you can fix it and you can edit it, but you will have the foundation there, Yeah. And that's what's beautiful about it.
Things that I have been rattling around in my brain and I just got to pull the trigger on is not even necessarily starting to write one of the ideas in my head, but like I've been reading, myths and folklore and fairy tales or whatever for the past, almost year and a half now.
Yep.
Taking one of those that was like truly spoke to me and was, I kind of marked where it was like, oh, a little spark of inspiration that could be like basically rewriting that or fleshing it out.
Yeah.
And just seeing where it goes.
That's the best. Honestly, it really is. And like, sometimes I used to tell Josh when he was feeling really stuck, I was like, write a dating profile for your character. And I was like, how would they present themselves? And then write another character looking at their dating profile. How would they view them? And it's like, it's simple exercises that really can get you inspired that you don't necessarily think of. But like a dating profile, I always think is hilarious because it's like, what would they find important? What would they want to highlight? what are traits that they're looking for and stuff like that. And it's fun.
So unrelated to writing, but tangential. So my husband and I met on OkCupid. So
I love OkCupid, and I love this too.
It works. Dating apps work. And I can't remember the exact. I think it's like, what makes you laugh or whatever. What type of humor do you have?
Yeah.
And I literally just put poop jokes. And yeah.
Perfect.
God, yeah.
And it worked. So there you go. And that's the thing. Like, it's really small things that you don't even necessarily think of with your characters that kind of then just come into life. Like, I knew Britta's best friend is based on my best friend. Because I have a platonic relationship with a male best friend. And that was something that was really important to me. I was like, we never see this in stories, and these relationships do exist. And I really want that represented. And my friend is such a golden retriever. Like, I love him so much. He is just the nicest person. He's easygoing. He's just loving, you know? And I was like, I want that. Like that. So you can pull inspiration from people you know. Yeah. Or it's really fun when you write horrible characters and you're like, it's not based on anyone I know.
I'm getting a lot of inspiration from reading this nonfiction.
What am I looking at here?
Oh, sorry, Helen of Troy.
Ah, yes.
By the way, I think I mentioned it to you, but Bettany Hughes, yes. Oh my God, I love her. Like, perfect combination of like, it's not narrative nonfiction, but it's academic, but it's not dry. So, God, I love her writing.
I love that. That's the best. But yeah, I think you should start writing, and then we can pressure Alan to start writing too, because I think Alan should start writing as well. Read First Man in Rome. I have not read that one. Who is supposed to be the first man in Rome?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
How long is it?
It's like 1,200 pages.
Ooh.
Stupid. Ridiculous.
That is a commitment. That's not one that I've got time for right now. But yeah, what's the overarching genre you feel like the story would be in?
Probably like I don't know, is rural fantasy a thing? But like maybe fabulism, magical realism, that type of thing. I
can see that being a good vibe fit for you. Magical realism, that would definitely fit.
Or horror, I guess, because that's kind of like fantasy. Horror is fantasy. Well, 1,200 pages, 931.
So yeah, Caleb from the channel Celebrity is in our writers group, and he writes horror. And he's like, it's horror, and I was like, it's dark fantasy. Like, what are you talking about? But it has horror aspects to it, like body horror aspects to it and stuff, which has been interesting because I had never read horror until I read Caleb's work. So there's that. Hello. But yeah, I would love for you to start writing.
At one point.
It's hard to motivate yourself, especially when you work full time. It's hard and it's draining.
Yeah. Sometimes I just want to turn off my brain and just stare at a wall. That would be ideal.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I don't know. It's like sometimes I get into really big creative bursty periods where I'm like, I just need to produce and be productive. And then other times it's much slower. And I'm like, I'm lucky if I get anything done. I mean, for a while, I was really trying to do that with the YouTube channel and thought like, okay, I'll just continue to put out content and that'll be my creative outlet. And then I hit massive burnout with that. And I was like, well, we're not doing that anymore. But I would like to start maybe doing that a little bit more again, but who knows? Time will tell. Setting up the camera is a lot of work.
That's why the best decision I ever made for the whole YouTube booktube stuff was just StreamYard, tier ranking every 6 months. That's the only guaranteed stuff that people are getting. So
and it's fine.
Don't ask for anything more from me.
I know. I'm debating if I'm gonna do book stuff or I'm gonna start doing some writing stuff and just being like, hey, this is the back end stuff of indie publishing. You want to publish a book? Like, this is what you need to know. Because there is so much information. And I mean, like, I'm only touching the surface of so much of it. And I've been lucky that many people have come before me and have been able to guide me, because I would be so lost without them. It is just, it's a lot. It's a lot. But
just do whatever you want. Like, or you could do both. Like,
yeah, I mean, I know some people,
algorithm will like punish you.
It will. I mean, but it's punishing me anyway because I haven't been consistent with content, so it doesn't really matter. But part of it too, though, is some authors I know feel very comfortable still continuing to be in the space where they critique and they review, and I'm like, I'm not one of those people. Like, I don't feel comfortable doing that. So I need to figure out where my new placement essentially is in that dynamic and kind of see where I feel comfortable, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah. Time will tell.
If you just heard yelling, Aaron is playing or is watching some sort of sports ball game. So
sports ball game. I love that for you. I haven't watched anything since the Montreal Canadiens were eliminated from the playoffs. So there's that. But I wouldn't call that sports ball. It would be sports puck, I guess. Yeah. I can't wait for you to get into hockey romance. That'll be the next romance genre that you really dip your toes into.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Listen, I never thought I would be there either, but alas, I read one series last year or early this year, and I loved it. Becca Mack is incredible. Highly recommend.
Oh, she does the hockey romance? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. And they're long, which I love. Like, they're way longer than a typical romance novel. And it's great because
justifies the length, though?
Yes, you get so much character time. It's so good. I think, Anita, that Puck Buddies is I believe that is a book, and it is quite a steamy book. I think that it is popular because it's the team aspect, and with a lot of romance novels, when you meet one cast of characters, they then appear as the leads in the next novel. So it's easy with having a team because, like, you just meet teammates and then they get a novel and they get a novel and they get a novel. So it all kind of comes together in that way.
Built-in franchise.
Yeah, but it's fun in that way. But yeah, I loved her series. I can't wait for the next one to come out. I think it's this fall, and that I think is the last one in the series. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it'll be good.
That's the one you recommended to me, right?
I did. Yeah, honestly, I loved it.
No. Was it Chase Me? No.
Nope. Let me see. I think Consider Me,
Consider Me, that's it.
Yeah, Unravel Me and Play With Me. And Breathe With Me is the one coming out this fall, which I am excited to read because the couple in that one is dealing with IVF. So that will be something that hits quite close to home. But yeah, I like these books because they actually deal with character issues that seem realistic and not totally synthetic almost, I want to say.
All right, well, I didn't realize they were hockey romances.
Yes, they are. I'm sorry. Elsie Silver is not hockey romance, though, if you want to give Rose, the Rose Hill series a try.
Yeah. Like I said, the Vaughn perspective. Well, I mean, even the prologue, I'm just like, I don't know how to feel about this. Like, this is gonna showcase how like petty I am. They just seem like too rich. Like,
yeah, I get it.
Too like highfalutin. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to connect with these people.
The next one, I think it's the second one. is a jockey, a female jockey, and an army vet. And it's really good. It's really, really good.
In this one? In this series?
And like I wasn't crazy about the first one, as I said, and I loved the next one.
I assume I don't need to read this.
You really don't. Like, I can give you the Cliffs Notes of what you need from it, but I would say check out the first couple chapters of the next one. Violet is the FMC in that one, and if you don't like it, then probably pass on it. But if you like the first few chapters, you will like that book, because it only continues to get better. Like, I think my jaw hung open at the end of the prologue or the end of the first chapter. I was like, oh, interesting. So yeah, I was really intrigued. It definitely felt like a step up for me in that series.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Well, I like horses and I like military stuff. So
there you go. A win-win.
Amazon preview pages. Help me out here.
Do you have Kindle Unlimited? Because it is on Kindle Unlimited. Okay. We can talk about it when we hop off here in a second, but I'm going to end the stream, but I'm going to talk to Evie off screen for a few minutes. But thank you guys for joining us for Sprints. We've been going for over 2 hours. Put some good productivity here tonight. Maybe we'll do another next week or something, but Monday, hopefully, will be Love Bomb. So if you are looking forward to that, put that on your calendar. Have a great week, everyone, because, yeah, it's only Monday today. Good start to the week.
It's only Monday.
It's only Monday. Got a lot of stuff coming up. But, yeah, thanks for joining me, as always.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time.